What's up everyone, it's Geigen here. Patch 2.3 was notoriously a considerable success. As usual, the new and introduced content attracts new viewers and subscribers, which helps our community continue to grow. That said, the feedback received was nothing but positive, and it keeps our team motivated. Since our team's schedules worked out as such, we managed to bust out an extreme amount of content, allowing us to distribute a new patch for the E3 Beta Pack project. Some content will be released separately, but most changes within this patch are exclusive to this project. Our team decided to do this because we have an incentive to play with the pack fully, rather than utilizing assets by themselves with no context or having improper relationship with additional content. Patch 2.4 is going to be our most prominent patch yet. With that said, let's get into it. Firstly, I want to introduce our team's two newest members, Clone and Rise, as they will be partaking in our mission to promote E3 demo accuracy. Clone will be focusing on sound modifications, while Rise will be focusing on animation restorations. Thank you guys again for being part of this project. Rise's shotgun animations from the previous patch were an excellent method of tweaking already existing E3 related items. While the regular reload animations were the primary intention of that, it has utilized a different equipment animation. In contrast, this animation here would play upon taking out a weapon versus what the E3 would use, which is here. Rise successfully granted us the additional shotgun equip animation fixes so players can use them as desired. When studying the original Charger, we became curious about why a sound file of the Charger's Contusion sound has not been developed. Over time, we realized that not only was the original Contusion sound not in the game files, but most of the Charger's E3/Comic-Con footage played the tune at a very low quality or conflicting level. With that said, I did manage to find a perfect piece of footage that granted us the sound file at a reasonable quality with no interruptions as well. Clone and I ripped the sound and formatted it with multiple programs to get it as perfect as we can. This mod will not be exclusive to the beta pack, as it is one of the only, if not the only mods to replace this Charger's sound cue. Several months ago, Assistant Manager Aizen made a Left 4 Dead 2 E3 inspired loading transition. Very little footage at the time only allowed us to, in theory, assume how it thoroughly worked. Meaning, we didn't know what was and what wasn't used in this loading transition. It wasn't until we found a video containing the entire level transition that we can now accurately operate. As of now, the team can't access what stat panel and descriptions are placed, nor can we decide its order. So, as a contingency plan, Aizen remade the images from scratch, mimicked the E3 transition layout, and applied those three images used in the E3 build to other stat panels to get somewhat a similar experience to what the demo entailed. In the last patch, we included Zoe's animations for Rochelle and Bill's animations for Atlus. Through inconsistent video footage, we initially thought Rochelle did use previous assets just like Atlus did. However, with more in-depth research, we disproved this theory of Zoe and found out that the majority of Rochelle's animations were actually the ones she uses in retail. This proves that she was the first survivor to ever have unique animations. However, we instead found out that Nick used Bill's animations and Coaches used Francis' animations. With that said, Rise has developed those animations for those survivors and we incorporated them into the pack as necessary. A long-lasting annoyance for our team was how the Survivor HUD was always inaccurate in our project. Why? Because in the actual E3 demo, pain pills and medkits were actually swapped in the Ally Survivor health bar's position. Modder Aizen located the files that placed these items and restored them to the correct locations to replicate the beta as desired. The Left 4 Dead 1 loading screens were always missing an important detail, the name placement. The reason for that is because Valve hard-coded player names to be located at the bottom left corner used in retail. In the E3 beta, player names were not used, so survivor names had to be used in place of that. Therefore, I edited the loading screen to place the original Trade Gothic survivor names on top of the loading screen texture. The team feels that this is a straightforward but effective alteration, as it does improve the atmosphere, which is what we want. About 2 patches ago, we included a Left 4 Dead 2 beta-inspired color correction by Modder Rumba. This modification increased contrast settings to best mimic the E3 demo. However, the keyword is inspired. While it was a great item to include, Modder Georg found the actual E3 texture in the game files, or at least that's what's theoretically the E3 color correction. As evident, we incorporated this version instead, so gameplay is more suited for what we strive for. The E3 pistol animations were notably one of the best E3 recovered animations yet, but something of that animation was missing upon holding a single pistol. Here's the gameplay of a single pistol in previous iterations, and here is the gameplay of the 2.4 patch. What's the difference? Very minor, but you can see that the pistol hammer is completely missing in the previous versions. Rise managed to fix this, and as necessary we added this minor tweak into our project. Aizen's main menu is an excellent form of limiting players' gameplay options. As mentioned in the previous patch notes, we included this because we wanted to make sure everyone played the required game modes corresponding to the pack's intention. I managed to capitalize on this idea and limit the campaigns and servers selectable, which means players will be forced to select the Paris campaign and local servers only. Ian's menu was an excellent idea for starting up a similar Left 4 Dead 1 experience. But something our pack forgot to include was the correct logo in that main menu. With that said, we decided to take Ian's correct E3 menu logo and place this in the pack instead of the previous one. Back in patch 2.1, Aizen included an alienated file into our mod pack. We did this to grant an additional content that cannot be included through a simple VPK replacement. For this patch, the enhanced folder will now contain a constant coach charger tip in the loading screen, and it consists of a remade E3 startup screen. Modder Aizen will have further directions in an incoming video for these creations to be used correctly, so stay tuned on that. The link will be in the description. The previous 2.3 patch had an online edition ready for upload on game maps. Unfortunately, there were technical difficulties with the VPK file size and the website upload process itself. We understand that some people like to use this version for a middle ground, but we have to postpone any updates to the online edition until we are allowed to upload it properly. The changes of the 2.4 online edition will include the Spaz and Chrome Shotgun equip animation fixes, E3 pistol hammer fix, E3 Charger Contusion tone, unused color correction, Pills and Medkit HUD switch, E3 menu logo, Survivor named loading screen, Remade E3 loading transition, and Remade E3 styled stat panels. This concludes Beta Pack Patch 2.4. Our team is extremely excited to bring you these new changes, as we managed to get one step closer to the real E3 build every time. With the team continuously growing along with its community, we are confident we can bring you the best experience to the actual E3 build of Left 4 Dead 2. Thank you for watching, everyone. Subscribe to the channel and give those ratings for more additional content. See you all in the next video. Respectfully, Tigan.